Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. What another blessed day he's allowed us to see, and we are so grateful about it. My name is Portia Wheatley. I am the founder and president of a nonprofit organization acknowledged as Trophy of Life Incorporated, and we serve with the vision. We are the action of hope and encouragement. Let's say hello to Takira, which is my co-host today.
Hello.
I tell you, it is such a blessing to have my guest here today, but I'm not going to introduce her at the moment. We're going to take a moment to actually say thank you again for tuning in and just seeing and experiencing the different topics that we have to share with you. And what we would love for you to do is to help us share hope, encouragement, and inspiration all around the world. Believe me when I say this particular platform is going all around the world. It's a blessing, and it's been a blessing to many. Just these 13 days, well, 12 days, and then today will be 13 days. What a blessing it is to have my guests to come and share with me. And what we wanted you to do is to help us take these messages around the world. Would you chime into our YouTube channel and subscribe, and subscribe again. Not just subscribe, but share the messages. The messages may not be directed to you or be of your experience, but I'm sure you know someone that it will bless, it will uplift someone, and most of all, render hope, encouragement, and inspiration. I wanted to read this scripture before we go with our guest today. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, Paul explained how important it is to love and to have love in a person's life. He said that even though someone has many gifts, without love, they are somewhat useless. You can have marvelous gifts and use those gifts to help people and bring joy to those who need it. But without love, your works are useless. So today we want to take this opportunity to talk about love. Mm. Love is an action word. And before we can love others, we definitely have to learn how to love ourselves. So today it gives me great pleasure to introduce my friend, one of my soul wealth sisters, who we honor, our fearless leader and incomparable leader, Dr. Vicki Johnson. She's one of my soul wealth sisters by the name of Miss Leslie Atley. And Leslie, welcome to the platform. And we're ready to hear your story, your experience, your journey about love and loving ourselves. Welcome.
Hi, Portia. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share with you in your 365 days. This, I absolutely touch and agree with you. It will be global. And I am so excited about what God has given you to do and how you jumped out the gate doing it with such fervor and joy, and the hope and encouragement that you're actually bringing to the world is amazing. So thank you for the opportunity to share. Thank you for following and doing just what thus said the Lord, right?
Yeah, right.
Yes. And I'm elated to share with the audience today on love. I have been that has been my theme word since 2017. And I would just like to say, with that in 2017, you usually pick a word for the year, right? And mine dropped in my spirit real quick, real easy. It was awesome, love. And for me, I was so excited because I thought that meant I was on my way to a journey towards, romantic love and, a husband, etc. Because, that was the desire of my heart. But what that journey actually became was a reflection of where I needed to start. And that's how we got here with you today, a journey of loving me always.
Yes, yes.
So I am the founder of Loving Me Always, which actually comes from my initials, Leslie Maria Atley. It started from a moment, a come to Jesus moment,
Mm.
where I was lying on my couch and, I was at a place where I was content, but I knew there was more. And so I had just asked God one simple question, like, how did I get here? And what he shared with me, what he told me in that moment was that I had done a great job loving everybody else, but I forgot about Leslie. And that's where the journey started towards a love affair with myself, like I had never experienced before. And as I think about and thought about, how love reflects and how it comes along in our lives, I never realized up to that point that I wasn't loving Leslie. And I think I was loving Leslie, but there are degrees to which we love
Ah.
ourselves. And sometimes the way we love ourselves, it's a reflection of our self-care. And so now I even say, I continuously love myself to wellness. And that's what
Mm.
that journey was. Are you willing to love yourself to wellness? And that's a holistic wellness, mind, body, and spirit. Feeding yourself the right things, nutrition wise, drinking enough water, getting your sleep, taking a pause, saying no. You don't have to dance on every set, as my grandma used to tell me, and understanding that over giving is a direct reflection of a lack of love for yourself. And that's where I had gotten to up until that point. I am naturally a giver. I
Mhm.
love to serve. And so, whether I was serving in the church, whether I was serving at work, whether I was helping build visions and dreams for other people in the background, making things happen. I was just what you said, Portia. I believe love was an action word. And so I was doing, doing,
Mhm.
doing, doing
Wow.
to the place where Leslie was depleted. And that was a direct reflection that I wasn't loving me always. I was really loving me when it was convenient, when I had time,
Okay.
if there was time. Because we know people will take up your time. Things will take up your time. If you don't take it back, they will take it.
Yes.
So I had to get to a place where I really decided me first every day, unapologetically.
Unapologetically.
And it did not come easy because when you're naturally used to giving to others and serving and, showing up great for everyone else, it feels selfish to do the same for yourself. And so it takes a whole shift of mindset, of belief systems, of values. And then I had to start speaking some affirmations to myself. One, I'm worthy.
Mm.
Two, I'm worth it.
Yes.
Three, I deserve the best of
Wow.
everything. And then, as our wonderful mentor says, where there's no reciprocity, there's no honor. So, in places where I was over giving and not getting anything back to fill my cup back, that's when I realized that wasn't love. That wasn't love internally, nor was it love externally. So, getting to the place where I absolutely understood that I had to fill my own cup first. My capacity was for me, and everything else that overflow was for everyone else. And believe it or not, now 4 years later, I am very clear. I have more than an overflow. And I make sure that if there is no overflow, I stop, I
Good.
pause, I
I
say
replenish it.
no. Yes. And I say no when I cannot because I don't have enough in my cup. And like you said, just sometimes you have to replenish. So taking the time every morning or every evening or even in the middle of the day to make sure that Leslie is okay became essential. And one of the things that, when you and I talk we had an opportunity to share intimately a couple of years ago in Arizona. And I was sharing with you, just how when I did make the decision, the shift, the pivot to take care of Leslie first, how everything fell into alignment.
Mhm, mhm.
Opportunities came, joy, the resentment left,
Yes.
the shame left, the guilt left, the feeling unappreciated left, because I understood that what I needed was on the inside. It wasn't an outside validation, it wasn't an external approval.
Mm.
'Cause sometimes that's what we're trying to do for love, is we're trying to
Yes.
get that external approval. That's not it. Approve yourself. When you love yourself from the inside out, you don't need external approval. You give yourself approval. And in turn, that approval gives you a life of bliss. Portia, you talked about, how my life soared
Hmm.
after that come to Jesus moment. And I did have to do my work. I had to write them affirmations and put them on my mirror. I had to study. I had to read some books. I had to um, start exercising. I had to eat better.
Yeah.
I had to change my circles.
Mm. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes, that was hard. That was hard. I had to change my circles. I had to pay closer attention to the words that even I spoke to myself, and then also words that were being spoken to me. I had to reflect and understand the lies that I had believed about myself and replace them with loving thoughts. So, the other thing that I would share with the audience today is, in terms of loving yourself, what we're really doing is loving on God.
Mm.
And that's where we get the life of bliss, because we're showing God that we appreciate the being that He created, that He ordained and set forth to pursue and to take care of whatever it is your purpose to do. And if you don't love that person in the mirror first, then that's an assault on the creation of God. So here we are. Here we are, 2021. For those that are struggling with, loving themselves first, putting themselves first, I promise you, self care is not selfish. It is absolutely necessary. It is absolutely necessary to live and have the life that you desire. Understand you deserve the best of everything.
Mm.
You are worthy and you are worth it. If you are over giving, stop right now. Make sure that you're giving to yourself. Make sure that you're eating properly, nourishing your soul, nourishing your body, nourishing your mind. Make sure that you're listening to things that are uplifting, that edify, not that tear down. Make sure you have circles of friends, family, loved ones, spouse, etc., that inspire, lift up, and understand even when you have to take a pause. Make
Mm.
sure you're taking the time to get proper rest. Nobody really pays attention to the need, the necessity of rest. And so, as a health coach, I have several clients, and one of the things that most of my clients struggle with is not getting enough sleep. So love yourself to wellness, get that rest. If your body tells you in the middle of the day that you need a nap, take a step back and take a nap. And in loving yourself, you also get to know yourself, not just, who you are as a person, but you get to know your body. Your body will start to talk to you. I often share with people that I started seeing a body works or massage therapist. She's really, it's way more than massage. That same year that I, took the journey. And I used to joke and say my body would tell her stuff because it knew I wouldn't listen.
Ooh,
And
that's
so,
good. That's a good one.
yeah, and I would ask her at the end of my session, so what did my
What
body
did
say?
the body
But when you get to a place where you truly love yourself, that you love the person in the mirror, that you know
Mm,
that person in the mirror is the apple of God's eye, is the cream of the crop, purchased at a high price. I love that one because that's what my last name means. But yes, know that you are amazing. Love
mm,
yourself to that place. And I promise you, what you'll get as a result is just like Portia said, a life that soars as well as bliss. I have never known love like this since this place of just coming into the fullness of loving Leslie. Loving me always, literally, that's my business, but that truly is who I am every single day. Loving me always. And I encourage everyone who's listening and tuning in, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, etc., across the globe, because Portia's 365 days is going global. Love
amen.
yourself first. Me first every day, unapologetically. And then, in addition, with that, you will absolutely love yourself to wellness. There's no way that you can mistreat yourself or mistreat your body if you are truly loving yourself. You will start to check the things that you're putting in your mouth. You
Mm,
will start to check, am I getting enough movement? Or wait a minute, where's this pain coming from in my knee? What am I not doing? You know, you'll start to check those things that are no longer serving you. So, yes, love yourself. Me first, every day, unapologetically. As they say when we take a flight, because I love to travel, put your own mask on first,
mm.
right? So take care of you, take care of the person in the mirror, take care of me.
Wow. Thank you, Leslie. That's wonderful. I love that share. I love me. I do. I
Yeah,
love me.
I love you too, Portia.
Lou, let me ask you a question. What were some of the things that you did before you uh, were able to really love yourself? What were some of the self-sabotaging things that you did?
I think the biggest self sabotage, first of all, it was always that I wasn't good enough, right? Whatever I was doing, the need to be perfect caused a stagnation and a halt to my own personal growth. So what I did was I hid behind other people's great, dreams and visions,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
help them to build theirs. And I was doggone good at it, but that was my way of hiding from my own true fulfillment and design. And so that was the first place I would say self sabotage absolutely was hiding behind, not coming forth in the fullness of who I am as Leslie Maria Atley, but being able to hide behind other people's greatness and great visions and great dreams. But when I realized that God had great visions and dreams for Leslie
Mm-hmm.
and got brave enough, that was key,
Yeah.
got brave enough to trust that I was good enough for what he showed me, the rest was history.
Wow. And that's such a testimony because I was sharing with Dr. Vicky that when I first met you, you were in your journey. And then I saw the transformation. And I'm like, now it's just like, who is that phenomenal woman? Who is that woman? That's Leslie, the metamorphosis of who she really is. That is wonderful. Another question, because I can relate to a state of not loving myself. And you look for outside validation and you help people to their greatness. All at the same time, you're saying, I have greatness in me too, but was afraid to step out. But once I said, okay, a little at a time, it's, you can't always look at the biggest picture or the big picture. Take it a little at a time. And I began to uh, tap into some of those things that some of my soul wealth sisters uh, proclaimed about themselves. And I began to take on what I wanted to pull away on my takeaways from some of those statements or affirmations. And it worked for me. I turned the mirror on myself,
Mhm.
and God is doing his thing. God is doing this thing, and I'm happy about that. Well, another question, I got to keep while I have you, because your schedule, I know, is crazy as well. When you don't love yourself, do you find that that comes out in conversation, in your demeanor?
Absolutely, Portia. So one of the things that I will share with you is, I think before you knew me, I knew you.
Mm.
So I remember in one of the capacities that I was serving as executive administrator to a bishop within the same Reformation that you're a part of, I remember showing up to conferences and leadership and seeing you.
Mm.
This was a time where I was hiding, so I didn't want to be seen.
Okay. Okay.
Because I was perfectly fine in the background, taking care of what needed to be taken care of administratively. And during that time, like you were saying, in a place where my love for myself came from validation in the position, the conversations were different. It was very curt and business. And I don't want you to even think, especially working for a male bishop, I don't even want you to think that I'm trying to talk with you or holler at you. So I left no room, I would say, for gentleness and kindness.
Okay.
Not kindness, I would say I was kind, but the gentleness, and I would say femininity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want any, scandal, any
Right.
accusations. I wanted to keep it, very professional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so for me, with your question, I think coming into this place now where I can just be, the loving, giving Leslie that I am. I don't worry about the same in terms of what are people going to think. I don't want anybody misjudging or misunderstanding. Now I really am free to love others the same way that I love me. And so, absolutely, there is a difference. And over giving or loving others more than you love
More.
yourself will also leave you resentful.
Mm.
It'll leave you angry and you don't even know you're angry. Because we're very good at putting a mask on.
Very good. Very good at that. Yes. That and I see that a lot in many of the settings before COVID, and sometimes during COVID. I see that in a lot of settings that people put masks on.
Mhm.
My mom used to say, they have no heaven nor hell to put me in. So why do I need that? You know?
Yes.
And it's just a place that you have to grow out of. And when
Mhm.
you get there, I mean, you may not be there yet, but when you come up out of and into, it's a wonderful place. It's a
Certainly.
wonderful place. Thank you again for sharing, Leslie. Takira,
Yes,
what do you think? What do you think about Miss Leslie Atley?
I think you're amazing. And can I just be honest with you? You were talking to me today. Like I take notes every time we have our broadcast, but I definitely took some notes today on what you were saying. And I just want to encourage everyone to go on that journey of self-love. I know I'm on my own journey of self-love, and you're amazing. I just thank you so much for coming today to share with us. Yeah. That's what I have. You were talking to me today, so thank
Oh,
you so
thank you. And
much.
Portia, I would say the first step is really getting quiet with yourself. Get a good journal and just start writing. Start writing love letters to yourself. Start writing
Mm.
where you are, what you desire, and know that you really can have what you want.
You
Getting
really can.
quiet with yourself.
Mhm.
Now I have to say, I knew I was an introvert, but during this journey, like I really became an introvert where I love being by myself now.
Nothing wrong with that, Leslie. Nothing wrong with that. I tell you what, one thought that just came to mind is when we begin to love ourselves, we can break many generational curses.
Yes.
Definitely
Absolutely.
do that.
Absolutely.
And doing this, what's going on in this world today, we definitely have to. I will step up and say, I will be the one that will break it. It takes boldness,
Mhm.
courage, all of
Mhm.
that, but it's doable. You can do it.
Absolutely.
So on that note, again, I just want to thank you, Leslie. Thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate you and what you do and the journey that you're on, and the many, many people that you will help to begin to love themselves,
To
to love
well,
them to
Yes.
wellness,
to
to love
wellness.
themselves to wellness. Absolutely. So
Amen.
on that note, again, we want to thank everyone for tuning in. Make sure you share this. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel to subscribe and like, and tune in tomorrow because we have something good for you. And well, we're not going to tell you because you just have to tune back in. Okay. We love you so very much. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Have a great day.